Uh, a few days ago, I talked about definitions and how people argue over definitions. And what I've come to understand, and this has been a natural perspective for me for quite some time, my whole life, is that definitions are relative. Um, it depends on what you're trying to get done. Uh, if you even try to get something done, if our personal will is too involved in accomplishing a task, we can cloud our mind, and the definitions we give things, which are based on values, the value we put into it, um, can become clouded. We can go off on our own rendition of life based on these definitions we hold for ourselves. And I find that a great deal of conflict in my life has arisen from relating to individuals who hold fast. I call them hold fast sticky hair hoarders to a definition. And now you got to realize that when they hold to a definition, this it's sort of like the Constitution of the United States. People hold to, they don't want to change it. They want to stay true to it and its main ideas. Excuse me. Um, there can be a tremendous unifying effect when everyone has the same definition. However, when everyone has the same definition, there's also the effect over time of a drying up and a wasteland kind of thing. There's nothing new. There's nothing truly growing and developing and changing. It just stays fixed and set fast. And you realize that when you don't change the definitions, when you don't roll, be a rolling stone kind of say, um, we want to defend our definitions in an ego-centered way. We want more than our share. Because there's a drying up effect, what occurs is that we want more and more and more because we're hungering for something. What we're actually hungering for is that change, that growth, that development. So if our definitions don't grow and change, then we don't develop and we feel like our life is drying up. And then if we stay fixed to a set of definitions and interpretations of things, say, of what is good and evil, we use those very definitions for our own ego-centered self-aggrandizement. So with this work that I've been doing on totems, in my own small little way, it's not something that's all life encompassing or anything. It's just another phase of my development that seems fruitful to me to bring about realizations and understanding that are enlivening and invigorating to me. And I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to cross any boundaries or hurt anyone through this, someone else's boundaries. I don't mind transcending my own boundaries and going past my own limitations. However, when I am out in the general public, I respect that there are rules to live by, and there are those that enforce them. And they are looking as a job for those that transgress. They're looking for an argument. They're looking for a fight, which is fine. They're paid to do that. That's what they're paid to do. But I've realized in my own experience of working with these totems that my definitions, based on my values, my evaluations, are truly living, growing, and changing. And I have to be careful because too much of this and you become destabilized and you can't keep a single cohesive vision. People don't follow your train of thought, that kind of thing. You've got to stay rooted enough in your relationships so that you do not overdevelop, if that's a possibility. A lot of people might just think you're crazy, which I find very interesting because of a recent John David Ebert talk in the second volume. I don't know, I think it's part 10, around there, part 10 or 11. He talks about how in a civilization becomes so intellectually developed that if you're not completely analytically oriented, then if you're more mystically or spiritually oriented, then you come under fire for being crazy. Crazy. So buttons on your underwear, That's what it is. It's just an interesting thought, I think. I've had a lot of compassion for people that I've understood while they are in like a mystical state, a spiritual heightened arousal. And I understand them, but I look at the other people around us and they think they're crazy. And they automatically determine them crazy. And I realized also at that point that people are highly invested in their definitions, their terms, and their phrases. And if someone comes along and changes their perspective too abruptly, too quickly, they may want to just crucify them. Or, as I say, stick them on a stick on a hill.